10 out of 10 chapter. Bro Benny is back. Fujimoto looking out for our boy. Now bring back Kobeni, you coward. This chapter of Chainsaw Man was pretty good. Very much a come down chapter from the last few, but features the reintroduction of the Devil Hunter Club, which we haven't seen in literally forever. Also, we have to talk about Fami's odd behavior, so let's just get into the chapter and let's talk about it. But do me a favor, if you liked this chapter of Chainsaw Man, then drop a like and let us know. Also, please consider subscribing. The last couple of videos have really been blowing up, and I so appreciate all of that. It's absolutely insane because this is a hobby channel, so if you watch my videos weekly, then it would definitely help me out considerably. We're about 300 subs away from 4,500, so every bit helps. So the title of this chapter is Gyoni Guillotine, and initially I was like, this has to be a reference. So I googled it, but nothing came up, and of course it's, the name of the devil that Fami summoned, but I thought it would be a reference, but no, it wasn't, so I agree. But besides that, this picks up directly from the last chapter as the mercs begin to take aim and fire. Fami summons Gyoni Guillotine, and I do want to say that I think it's hilarious that Asa, while the crowd is like bewildered, and it just says, I tripped? Don't you just, I have these moments sometimes as well, but don't you just love it when you have those moments where you trip, but you don't even know why? Like you just give up for a second and you just fall. It's just one of those things. But she summons it and just, wow. This design is really cool and actually pretty unique. It has this twinge of macabre that I kind of dig, and it's just, really, it's just a giant crow, but inside it is a skeleton and a guillotine. Pretty cool, in my opinion. This does bring up the question, though, how the hell do these devils get their designs? I mean, besides Fujimoto's creativity. I don't know why I said it like that, but I'm gonna keep that in. Guillotine and, the falling devil, these two designs in particular are just so memorable and unique that, to me, it's impressive that Fujimoto can come up with this stuff consistently as he does. I really love this design. So Fami orders the guillotine to slaughter them, but what ends up instead happening is they just end up slicing their weapons and clothes. So I also love the creative censorship, by the way. It's just really funny group of panels, but it seems that the guillotine has a mind of its own, as Fami told it to slaughter them, but instead it just slaughtered the clothes. She even says, I told you to slaughter them, but it just doesn't. It makes me wonder why that is. Maybe the guillotine will do something like what the user said, but not exactly as it was ordered to do. It's a very quirky burp, it is. And also, leave it to Fujimoto to subvert our expectations again. Instead of making it a gigantic bloodbath, he instead went light on us today and made it a clothes bath? I don't know what you would call this. So Asa, obviously seeing this, is like, why the hell did you not do this in the first place? And Fami explains it's not as simple, as the devils that Fami summons with her powers are actually weak. To which I say, what? She summoned the falling devil and she was taking out buildings and shit. My guess is that to Fami, they're weak. But clearly, to humans and people on Earth, they're obviously not. So on top of that, they aren't able to use their full strength anyways, and it even has further restrictions on top of that, which, as Fami puts it, is a secret. So one of the mercs in his underwear attacks Asa, but Yoru kicks him in the face, knocking him out. I found this a neat little bit of development for Asa, because she tells Yoru that she's been fighting a lot lately, so she's started to learn a couple of things. And it does make me wonder what Asa would be like if she trained regularly, what she would be like in combat. But if this is what she is like through just fighting a lot more, then it's gonna be awesome to see where she'll be when she's fighting a lot, which I hope eventually does happen. But yeah, a humorous moment. This whole chapter is kind of funny, but the merc is asking to be spared, and Yoru tells him to lick her shoes, which I'm sorry, but I believe Yoru when she says that. It's just a little difficult though when it's in Asa's body, because I'm just so used to girl failure that I don't know, it's just funny is all. Imagine if Asa said that to you. Would you do that? Would you be intimidated? Especially after tripping? Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, there are going to be a lot of people on Twitter this week either saying, yes, queen, or making fan art for those people who are saying that. So, yeah, can't wait to be on Twitter. It's gonna be fun. This is when a door opens and comes out a surprising group of people. It's Okaku, Nobana, and Haruka. We haven't seen these characters in, God, quite a long time now, and of all places, they're in this godforsaken facility. Also, why the fuck is Nobana here? Is he like her sister where he has some hidden insane technique that we don't know about? Leave the poor boy alone! Their family has endured enough! Speaking of though, he even begins to scream at one point because of guillotine, which Fami is quick to tell it to shut up and even has a pet name for it. Gilly. But while Nobana is screaming, Haruka asks if she came to break them out. He then rallies the two to stay behind them and begs Fami to leave them alone and go away. Immediately, I knew that Fami did something to them, because why the hell would they choose to even stay in this facility? Well, as Haruka puts it, she ruined their families, their lives, their countries. She ruined everything, and the next thing they know, they're somehow wanted terrorists. So it seems that Fami, by being in that club, inadvertently painted those three as targets, and when shit hit the fan, well, of course they took the fall. And also, of course, Fami hearing all of this is like, okay. Haruka has made up his mind though. He is his own man now and is expelling Fami and Asa from the Devil Hunters Club, which like, duh, I don't even think you need to say that at this point. But you know, then again, Fami's response to everything in this chapter is literally, okay. So maybe it is needed for posterity's sake though. I gotta admit, Asa is a little cold here when she chimes in and calls them losers, saying they're not here to rescue them, but to rescue Chainsaw Man. Interestingly though, this surprises Haruka, and for Asa, she's like, yeah, and? However, I found this interesting because after hearing that, all three decide to follow them. Why? Well, all because it seems like they want to meet Chainsaw Man. Seriously, you guys, there has to be something to this. And if I were to guess, I think that these three still see Chainsaw Man as a hero or celebrity or whatever. It also does get three Devil Hunters to tag along, so it can't hurt in that regard either. Also, I think Denji's identity is going to be revealed. I think this is what this has really been leading up to, because they're going to walk in, they're going to see Denji, and maybe at first they're going to be like, wait, is that actually Chainsaw Man? But you know, when they actually break him out, it's going to become clear that, yeah, this guy is actually Chainsaw Man. However, I gotta say, despite everything, this chapter made me realize that if anyone hurts Gilly, I'm gonna hurt them back. I mean, how can you hate a burb that gets rid of clothing? Who? As well, I just can't get over how Fujimoto draws Fumi running. It's just so wild to me that this girl is so... I don't even know the word for it, honestly, but it's just so her that she runs with her arms down and her head tilted. Like, only Fami, the girl whose primary dialogue so far has been head tilt, blank stare, and okay, can pull this off. She's an absolute force of nature of some kind. Don't know, what yet, but I think I'm more scared of Fami than I am of the dark at this point. Overall, though, very fun, short, obviously, setup chapter for this arc. Fujimoto consistently seems to write his arcs with ebbs and flows, which I really appreciate, but I do think pisses off a certain group of people a lot. People who want big payoff after big payoff, who want instant gratification over literally everything else. So I can see this chapter getting a certain amount of scrutiny from those people, which I get it, but it's still annoying to deal with to a degree, but I like the chapter. I think it's cool that he's reintroducing the Devil Hunter Club. Anytime we get Bro Benny, I'm more hopeful that Ko Benny shall return and save us all. Also, it feels like we're just doing a straight up jailbreak arc, which I think soon is going to lead to a really big fight on our hands for Chainsaw Man. Both the series and I think actually Denji as well. I think the next time we see Chainsaw Man and the next time we see Denji, we're going to be dealing with maybe a different person. But it also makes me wonder who is going to be in this arc too. My guess is that we may see more of Katana Man, that wretch Fumiko, and hey, maybe we'll see Nobara at home. Rip and rip to the goat, by the way. Now, this is where I'm curious and want to hear from you. What did you think about this chapter of Chainsaw Man? Were you in the camp that is disappointed, or did you think this chapter was good? Let me know, and as well, be sure to subscribe and drop a like on the video to help it reach more Chainsaw Man fans. I'd appreciate it. Thank you all so much for your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which is, next week. Bye-bye.